Good evening and thanks for joining us. It is now time to take a look at some of the stories making headlines on the front pages of our national and local newspapers. I will begin with Ika Mirror newspaper. On the front page of Ika Mirror newspaper is the bold picture of His Royal Majesty Dr. Benjamin Ikechukwu Kiagbe Kuzi I. And it is boldly written there, congratulations to our great king on successful Agbo Kingdom Iwagi Festival. All right, that's all we have on the front page of Ika Mirror newspaper. Moving forward, let's take a look at the stories making headlines on the front page of Ika Weekly newspaper. All right, on the front page of Ika Weekly newspaper, the top left there, Godday Olue, Ika Indigene appointed special advisor to Governor of Osun State. Details are on page 5 of Ika Weekly newspaper, and in between there is their personality of the week in the person of Christopher Ekamagule, and he said, "Teach but don't cheat pupils, my philosophy as Education Secretary." Details are on page 6, and beside that is the advert of Prince Paradise Global Concept Limited. And beneath that is the celebration of life of Chief Felix Sunday Duke Iyawa, the Danyem of Agbo Kingdom, who departed the earth at the age of 80 years. All right, moving forward, still on the front page of Ika Weekly newspaper. All right, at the left there, you have Atlanta hosts Agbo USA 2023 convention. Details are on page 2 of Ika Weekly newspaper. And next to that, Royal Mirror British College committed to building champions. You can get the rest of the story on page 4 of Ika Weekly newspaper. And beneath that, heavy downpour claims life of 34-year-old man. Details on page 17. Next, Onye Bikumonye Landlords Association congratulates Ebie Ehiwario Aniago. Details on page 2 of Ika Weekly newspaper. And next to that, EIEP gives out writing materials to students of Agwaiwuru Mixed Secondary School. Details on page 9. And beneath that, father of 3 found dead on his farm. Details page 17. Senate okays Ebie as NDDC chairman. Orders. Details on page 3 of Ika Weekly newspaper. And on the left side there, I want to use this New Yam Festival to give glory to God, says Utokbo Monarch. Details on page 7. And underneath that, Samuel Otunji extols Umonede Monarch at 70. The rest of the story is on page 15 of Ika Weekly newspaper. All right, I think that's all on the front page of Ika Weekly newspaper. Now let's move on to the pointer. All right, on the front page of the pointer, it says, make health insurance free for elderly, group urges. Details on page 2024. And next to that, customs intercept expired tomatoes. Tomatoes container worth 1.1 million naira. Details on page 2. And next to it, man 65 arrested for chaining starving wife. Details are on page 18. And next to it, discourage monopoly. They are destroying our economy. Primate advises Tinubu. You can get the details on page 3 of the Pointer newspaper. And it is also boldly written there on the front page of the Pointer, World Teachers Day. Are teachers' rewards still in heaven? That's a question, and details are on page 8 and 10 of the Pointer newspaper. And beneath that, steward bags life imprisonment for defiling employers' children. Details on page 3 of the Pointer newspaper. Followed, no plan to increase fuel pump prices, NNPCL clarifies. Details on page 2. And underneath that, Unical student narrates how lecturer forced her to have oral sex in office. You can get the details on page 21. Now let's move forward to the stories making headlines on the front page of Tribune. All right, on the front page of Tribune, at the left there, Governor Adeleke imposes 24-hour curfew on Orolu, Irepodun local government areas over deadly riots. Details on page 6. And followed, nominations open for 2023 Obafemi Awolowo Leadership Prize. The rest of the story is on page 2. And boldly written there, Tinubu Atiku in hot exchanges. Again, details on page 28. And on that, ex-vice president is a sore loser, sovereign from peer envy, says presidency. By now, Tinubu ought to have resigned, Atiku's lawyer said. Beneath that, FCT probes death of one chance robbery victim. Detail on page 25. And underneath, train passengers without tickets risk 20,000 fine, says Okeria Railways MD. Says e-ticketing may start before end of this month. Details on page 22 of the Tribune. And on the left side there, it says, God destined me to kill my employer. That was why I succeeded. Herdsman who murdered cattle owner says. The rest of the story is on page 8 of the Tribune newspaper. And next to read, what killed Mohbad? Police. Details on page 5. And the last there, armed men kidnap 9 in Zamfara village. The rest of the story on page 10 of the Tribune newspaper. And lastly, let's take a look at the Punch. All right, on the front page of the Punch, on the left side there, OT triumphs, flaws PDP, APC at election tribunal. Details on page 7. And next to that, Naira Marley, Malian president cooling off at Panties D4. Details on page 14. And boldly written again on the front page of the Punch, certificate saga. Presidency says Atiku desperate as ex-president submits Tinubu's Chicago Varsity records. Details on page 4. It says president committed perjury by submitting fraudulent certificate to electoral body. Presidency says ex-vice president chasing shadows aid alleges Atiku desperate to embarrass Tinubu. And on the left side there of the Punch newspaper, DSS officers slapped, threatened to kill me for defending client, says lawyer. The rest of the story is on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. And in the middle there, private comforters, thriving world of professional cuddles. Details on page 20 and 21. And next to that, Mohbad, police indict prime boy, friend killer, nurse in singer's death, and details are on page 17. Page 17 of the Punch newspaper. And lastly, one Nigeria best for Igbo, says ex-governor Ezefe. All right, that's it on the stories trending on the front pages of our national and local newspapers. Thanks for staying with us. Do well to follow, like, and subscribe to our channels on all social media platforms at PMTV Africa. For your live stream, events coverage, hot news, and happenings around you, call our desk line on 08063426526 or visit our broadcasting studio at number 66 Old Lagos Asaba Road, Agbo, Delta State. I am Sandra Obwe. You have a wonderful night rest.
Keep watching PMTV Africa.
Keep watching PMTV Africa.
Keep watching PMTV Africa.
I'm giving a shout out to PMTV, People's Mind.
Hi guys, keep watching PMTV Africa.
Hey everybody, keep watching PMTV.
From Toronto, PMTV. Don't touch that die.
Hey guys, keep watching PMTV.
Nigerians, wherever you are, whatever you know, keep on watching People's Mind Television, PMTV.